What is up, guys? My name is Lex. I caught a flight from Vegas and landed in beautiful Los Angeles, California to play at the Hustler. I head inside, but today is different. I won't be playing on the main floor. I'll be playing on the live stream. Hustler Casino Live is the best poker live stream going on right now, and I've been wanting to play this game for months. This game is going to be huge. 10, 20, 40, no limit hold'em. I buy in for more than I've ever bought in for a single poker game in my entire life. $20,000 for two $10,000 bullets. I grab my chips, I head up on the stage. The table looks great, full of people ready to play some poker and give some action. I take my seat. Let's get started. I don't pick up any playable hands for the first 15 minutes, and then there's a limp from JL for $40, DQ calls $40, and I look down at pocket queens and under the gun +3. I'm going to black out my opponent's hands so that you guys can sweat the action with me. I raise it up here to $240. Action folds back over to JL, who limped from early position, and he decides to put in the classic limp re-raise. He makes it $840. I've seen this play numerous times in Florida. Someone limps early position with a big pocket pair like aces, kings, ace king, or ace queen, and then they limp re-raise to a huge sizing. Now holding pocket queens here, about $9,000 effective. I don't think a 4-bet is necessary in position, so I decided to make the call. With over $1,800 in the middle, we're going to a flop. Heads up, in position with pocket queens. It comes out 6 high with 2 clubs. If my opponent has one of those big overpairs like aces and kings, this could be a massive cooler flop for us. I'm expecting JL to put out a bet here, but to my surprise, he decides to check. He's already shown that he has the capability of putting in some tricky and trappy plays, so I'm not sure if I want to bet here or check. Limp re-raise and check.
And some guy jumped from the top. And like my friends had come.
It would be a nasty spot to bet here and get check raised, so I check this flop back and the turn is the 9 of hearts. JL checks to me again, so now I'm pretty sure he has some ace high or king high hands, so I put out a small bet of $500.
I was portraying weakness, so you know I'm gonna do what I have to do right now.
Oh,
right?
he's gonna raise. Well, he does bait out exactly what he wants. What do I know?
It'd be better to say it now.
Lex O.
Yeah, I think I'm getting cooler.
I think I'm getting coolered, he says.
This was the exact reason I didn't want to bet the flop. I didn't want to face a huge check raise by JL. He's representing huge hands like aces and kings by limp re-raising pre-flop and then double checking the turn and raising to $2,000. However, my hand is just too strong to fold just yet. I gotta see the river, so I make the call for $2,000, over $5,800 in the middle, and the final card is a 4. Now any 3 will make a straight. If my opponent puts out a huge bet here, I'm not really sure what I will do here with pocket queens.
That's so unlikely. 7-8 got there on the turn.
And they got so mad because they took all their money. And then
That's more likely. So what is JL trying to represent here? It is a big bet. Never mind, it's not that big of a bet. It's only 2,000, and he just gets snapped off.
Oh, you got me. Nice
I thought it was about 4,000. So Lex O makes the max by slow playing the flop,
Nice hand, nice hand.
getting into a war with JL, and just giving JL some rope.
I pretty quickly called the $2,000 on the river, and JL had ace jack of diamonds for a bluff, and just like that, within the first 30 minutes of the stream, we're already up over $4,000 with a stack now of 14K, one of the biggest stacks I've ever had in a poker game. While playing on a live stream, it's really tough to try to balance out trying to give some action and play some pots while also playing good poker. In this hand, Sashimi opens up from under the gun. I have King 9 offsuit in the cutoff. I would normally always fold this hand from an early position raise, but on the live stream with people watching, I make a pretty light call. We end up going 3 ways to the flop. Queen high board, we have 1 overcard and a gut shot to the second nut straight. When it checks to me, I check, and Hillary, my friend on the left, checks behind. The turn is a magical 10, giving us the second nuts. Sashimi checks again. Now I'm definitely going to be betting. I throw out some chips and I get 2 calls by the button and under the gun. Going here to the river, which is an 8, a great card. Now any 9 will make a straight, but we have king 9 for the second nut straight. I decide to size up here for a 2/3 pot size bet of $700, really trying to target my opponent's 2 pairs or 9x hands, but unfortunately they have nothing to call with. They both make the fold.
Right now, but she's up to no good.
In this next hand, it surprisingly folds all the way to DQ in the small blind, who calls $40. I'm in the big blind with a suited connector-ish hand, 7-4 spades. Let's play a bigger pot. Let's raise it up. I make it $200. Hillary makes the call and DQ makes the call as well. 3 ways to a king-high board. We flop a flush draw. Pretty good board for us. I continue for $240, and both of my opponents make the call. The turn card gives me a pair. After 2 calls on the flop, I slow down and check, and Hillary checks behind. The river card's the king of hearts, a pretty good card. I think my 7 could be good here a lot of the time. DQ checks, I check, and now Hillary puts out a bet of 400.
400.
Now I'm going to check. 400 is a bet. Oh, I did have red cards, but I'm going to fold. Fold? Fold.
No? Small enough to be bluffy.
Yeah, I know.
Reasonable enough to be value. These are the options we weigh.
Her line doesn't make too much sense. I would expect her to bet the turn with top pair holdings. I don't think she's betting the sizing with a jack, so she's basically saying she has a flush or a bluff.
Mike, let me boost my $4,000 over here, please. Let me feel good about myself.
Hogs. Guys, please, I'm trying to think.
I'm going to give him a little back rub so he feels...
I call.
I have a king.
Good.
Well, and she coerces a call with a little bit of speech play.
You got it. I gave it to you. Saw it?
Yeah, he put it.
Okay.
I trust him.
Right there in the
I end up paying off the $400, and Hillary got me with her check back on the turn. She has trip kings, and she takes this one down. Even after that call, we're still up over $3,000. In this next hand, Mike X raises from early position. JL puts in a 3-bet to $500 on the button, and I'm in the big blind with pocket 8s. Now, normally, I think calling 3-bets out of position is a pretty bad play, but I'm over $10,000 deep with both players. If I could hit a set, I could potentially win a massive $20,000+ pot, so I decide to make the call, and Mike X makes the call as well. 3 ways in a 3-bet pot. The flop comes out ace high. I check, Mike checks, and JL decides to check this one back. The turn card's another ace, and after JL 3-bets pre-flop and then checks back this flop, I expect him to have some under pairs to the ace, maybe some suited broadways or some suited connectors. So I throw out a blocker sizing bet here with my pocket 8s. I make it $420. Mike makes the call and JL makes the call as well. So I'm pretty much going to shut this one down, especially when the river's a 9 and overcard to my pair. I check and the action checks all the way around, and JL wins this one with pocket queens. After folding for about 45 minutes, I finally pick up a playable hand in early position. King Jack of diamonds, I raise to $200. Crazy Jim makes the call, and then Mike puts in a 3-bet to $700. Given the fact that I'm very deep stack with a suited Broadway hand, no way I can let this one go pre-flop. I make the call, knowing that I could potentially be dominated by ace king, ace jack, pocket queens, kings, and aces. Jim makes the call as well. We go 3 ways to the flop. King, 4 deuce, 2 spades, 1 diamond. We make top pair, backdoor, king high flush draw. Checks over to Mike X, the initial 3-better pre-flop, who continues for $800. No way I can fold my hand, and I don't think raising is necessary, so I make the call. Jim makes the fold. We're now heads up to the 10 on the turn. I check, and Mike decides to slow down and check this one back. The river card is a jack, now giving me top 2 pair. We could potentially be losing to ace queen or pocket jacks, but I don't want to check and let this get checked through. I think I can get called by worse king X hands, 10X hands, and jack X hands. I lead out for $1,040.
I don't think you're stuck.
I know, but you're up stuck. No, she's winning.
This would be a pure bluff catch. And the problem is he's blocking the hands that would be bluffing, which would be spades.
No, I mean as far as for the stream. 1,040, right?
But he does have a 10. And Mike X loves being sticky,
I assume.
so he's going to make this call.
2 pair.
Yeah, why not?
Yep. I can't slow him. I don't have it in me.
This show is called Max Payne Monday on Hustler Live, which is encouraging slow rolls and needles, but Mike X is just way too nice of a guy to slow roll, so I show my hand right away, and it's good. I have been pretty card dead throughout this 4-hour stream so far. I haven't picked up really any big pocket pair, no aces, kings, jacks, tens, ace king, or ace queen until we play a $100 bomb pot, and I look down at pocket kings. The flop comes out ace, jack, jack. I lead out really small, which I'm not really sure why. I bet $110. I get 2 callers before Jamie, who's enjoying some beverages, puts in a raise to $700.
This did not deserve to be a bomb pot. Sashimi, letting out a little frustration.
That would take me 3 hours.
She's laughing, but she also just needed it to stop.
No.
At the time, I was super frustrated because I finally picked up a big pocket pair, and of course, it's in a bomb pot, and there's an ace on the board, but little did I know, I escaped a massive cooler. Jamie has pocket aces. I could have possibly lost thousands and thousands of dollars if this was a real pot, but because it was a bomb pot, I literally only lost $200 pocket kings versus pocket aces. I fold my pocket kings, and DGAF makes the call on the button. The turn, Jamie just goes all in with aces full for $15,000, and she wins, and she gives the table a little show.
Oh my god, that's bomb.
While I'm watching this go down, I'm thinking 2 things. 1, I hope she's not driving home, and 2, please, poker gods, let me get into a big pot with her. It looks like the dealer Magic was listening to us because he finally gives us a playable hand. Jamie raises it up here to $120 with ace king. I 3-bet the cutoff with jack 10 of diamonds to $400. Folds back over to her. She tells me she's just going to call and puts in the chips.
I need one of those.
All right.
Not like.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call for right now.
Okay.
She's coloring.
We go heads up. In a 3-bet pot, the board comes out king, queen, 9, 2 clubs. We flop the nuts. It just cannot get any better than this. We flop the nuts in a 3-bet pot, $15,000 deep. Well, I didn't think it could get any better until Jamie leads into me now for $700. This is what I've been waiting for this entire stream. I finally make a super strong hand. Now she can have a bunch of strong hands on this board as well. She can have sets, 2 pairs, pair plus straight draws.
She's doing her thing.
Jesus, what was that, a bird? Anyway, back to the action. We have a straight or $15,000 deep. When you're really deep stacked with your opponent with a really good hand, you want to try to stack them. So I got to start raising this one up right away. I make it $2,200. My plan for this hand is to raise to $2,200. If she calls and the turn is not a club or pairing the board, I'm going to continue for a large bet, and if the river's a brick, I plan on shoving all in and hopefully winning over a $30,000 pot. The action is now back on Jamie.
Very dangerous.
I made it 7, right?
Very dangerous spot.
Is that correct?
200.
And he made it 22.
You bet 5, so 1,500 more.
I've never been 30.
No, I made it 7.
Yeah, you made it 700.
1,500
Yeah,
more.
you made it 7.
She then asked the dealer some odd questions about her bet and how much more it is to call. I'm not sure if she's putting on an act here or if she's just actually confused. She then goes into the tank for a while and starts dead eye staring me down. I'm just trying to look at the board, not giving any info away. And after about a minute and a half of thinking, she decides to reveal her hand, ace king for top pair, top kicker, but not fold yet. Now, at this point, I'm sure the hand is over. She's never going to be revealing her hand and then calling. So in one last-ditch effort to get some more money, I tell her, if she makes the call here on the flop, we can check it all the way down to the river.
It is a fold.
I think we're probably close.
You'd like to think, but I don't know. I'll golf too.
You go?
You golf, Sashimi?
Okay, we'll do it on a.
Let's do it.
can do what you want to do.
In Vegas.
We can check it down if you
Or would
call.
you golf in Los Angeles?
But I have you beat.
I believe you.
Just clubs in Vegas or what?
You have 2 pair. Top 2 pair.
I have you beat right now.
You don't have time to go a bit.
She eventually folds, and all I've got to say is
She's doing her.
unfortunate outcome for us, her folding top pair top kicker. I'm pretty sure this game was much bigger than what Jamie was used to playing, and she was crushing it on the night, so I think she was just trying to lock up a big win. She makes a very tight fold with top pair top kicker, but can't complain. We end up taking down a pretty decent pot.
This here.
You're just like, what the F is going on? What is going on?
With about 30 minutes left in the stream, Jamie limps from early position. JL makes it $180. I have King 5 suited in the cutoff. I decide to 3-bet here. Let's give some action. Folds back over to JL, who makes the call. Flop is 8-4-4. He checks, I bet, and he folds. Exactly one orbit later, Jamie limps again. I'm in the cutoff with 6-5 of diamonds with my brand new Hustler Casino Live sweatshirt. I raised to $200. Sashimi makes the call, and Jamie makes the call as well. We flop bottom pair. When it checks to me, I put out a bet. Sashimi folds, and Jamie makes the call. The turn pairs the board, and Jamie checks again. I don't want to give a free card to her flush draws and straight draws and overcards, so I bet small $300, and she calls again. The river card's a 3. She checks, I check back, and our 6 is good.
Okay. She could have bet
Do you have
there.
anything?
No, but I don't know why.
So,
I have that.
all right,
Sure. He loves
you got it.
chips.
Leading into the last hand on the live stream, Mike X raises, DGAF makes the call on the hijack, Jamie on the button makes the call, and in the straddle for $110 more, I make the call with 6-4 offsuit. We go 4 ways to King 5-7 2 hearts. We flop an open-ended straight draw. Any 3 or any 8 will give us a straight. I check, and the action checks all the way around. Turn card deuce of spades, and given the fact that nobody bet on the flop, I'm going to start a semi-bluff here. I lead out for $280, and it gets the job done. Everybody folds. We take down our last pot here with 6 high. Closing out the live stream with some stats here. A $17,000 stack, playing 27% of hands, profiting over $7,400 in 5 hours. I would take it. A great result, but we're not done yet. We continue to play off stream. Only 10 minutes after the live stream cameras go down, of course, I pick up a premium black pocket kings. I raise to $120 under the gun. Jamie makes the call in the small blind. Big blind makes the call, and DQ makes the call as well. 4 ways to a 9 high board. Jamie decides to lead out here for a big bet, $360. Big blind makes the fold. DQ comes along with a call, and I've seen Jamie do this before with top pair holding. So with pocket kings and overpair to the board, I feel like I've got the best hand, so I raise it up. I make it $1,000. Jamie makes the fold, but DQ comes along with a call. We're now heads up to the jack on the turn, and instead of checking over to me, DQ decides to rip it all in. You have like 2,000?
21 something.
Well, but not exactly what we were looking to see. This card could improve him to some 2 pairs or straights, but I don't think I can fold for only $2,000 to DQ, so I tell him I'm going to give him some action, and I end up making the call for $2,100. A huge pot brewing here. He tells me he just has a jack, so if we can hold in this big pot, we'll be up over $10,000 on the session.
It's like fine with the rest of the week. Besides Friday.
Wow.
Thursdays. Tuesday when we have like the normal lineup,
He got it.
usually like over 5K, maybe 6K.
I just want to reach over your camera.
And the
Sorry.
Wednesday and Thursday is usually like 4K.
He did have top pair, but a flush draw with it, and the 7 of diamonds gives him a flush to crack my pocket kings for over a $7,000 pot. We end up losing half of our profit in one single hand, getting pocket kings cracked by jack 4 of diamonds, but can't complain. The table's great. Everyone's having fun, getting some drinks. I'm going to keep playing till the game breaks. About an hour or so goes by without any significant pots before we're on the button with pocket jacks. I raise to $200 and only the small blind it makes the call. We're heads up in position to 10, 7, 8 rainbow. Small blind checks. I bet $250 and he check raises me to $600. He only has $1,100 left in his stack. I'm never folding pocket jacks here, so I rip it all in for his last $1,100. He thinks for a while and folds. So we end up taking down this pot, which ends up being our last pot of the night. After 10 hours of poker, I call it quits, end up racking up my chips, heading to the cage, and cashing out. Wow, that's all I've got to say. What a great experience. The best live stream going on right now. The production, the staff, the games, everything here at the Hustler Casino Live is just amazing, and I'm super grateful to be able to play on the live stream. It was an awesome game. Everybody was super fun. The game was action as well. Bought in for $10,000. It was a big game, 10, 20, 40. Unfortunately, throughout those 5 hours, I really didn't get into many interesting spots. I was card dead forever. No aces, no kings, queens once, no sets, no 2 pairs, I don't think. Maybe 1 2 pair. Didn't really get to value bet that many times as either. Didn't really have any opportunities to pull any big bluffs, but you know, that's what happens in poker. Sometimes you run a little card dead. Either way, the game was amazing. Ended up winning $4,900 on the session. To be transparent with you guys, I didn't have all of my own action in this game. I did a $20,000 package for this game, and then I sold percentages of that on Instagram to friends and fans. So I didn't have all $20,000. I sold that out to people, so I'm not gonna make $4,900 on the session, but it really helped, honestly, selling some action because it kind of like reduced the pressure. I was already very nervous coming into it. The game was big, everyone was watching, I didn't want to make a mistake, so to have some pressure lifted off by not having 100% of myself really helped. But a great experience, great time, everybody there was amazing. I hope I can get invited to play back here at the Hustler. It was an awesome experience. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, hit that like button. Comment down below if you have any questions, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see ya.